Hi Gemini, welcome to your Lunar Eclipse in Aquarius special with me, Raphael.rey from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. So I would like to bless my notes, the messages and the cards that I'm about to use with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So Lunar Eclipse in Aquarius. It's going to be a massive shifting point for all of us. The solar eclipse, I actually think, you know, on the other side of it, even though it brought me some interesting takes, I think this is going to be really, this is going to be a lot more intense than the solar eclipse, than either of the solar eclipses actually. I think this is going to be the one that people are like, ooh, you know, that stuck a bit of eucalyptus oil up my nose. Right. Your sign, Gemini, is all about freedom of expression, communication, social interaction, vibrancy for life. You know, you guys are the social butterflies. And, you know, the eclipse is actually happening in a fellow air sign of Aquarius. Now, through the house or the guise of Aquarius, this can see you looking more into, you know, humanitarian efforts and, you know, what you find yourself attached to and what your hopes and dreams and aspirations are. But on top of that, because it happens in your ninth house, so you've got the lunar eclipse itself, which is a time of endings, it's a time of culmination, it's a time of things wrapping up. It's also can be a time of blessings and wish fulfillment, because it brings you the experience of something that you've already put the work in, finally giving out its reward. You know, if you think about the moon in terms of human physiology, when a woman is, you know, fully pregnant and she's right at the full moon, that's when she gives birth. So this is when you see that. But in that same respect, it's actually about an ending. You know, the time of being pregnant is over and the time of birth is at hand. So this is happening in your ninth house. So the lunar eclipse is going to see all of us deeply emotional, emotions very close to the surface. It's going to see us really, you know, see us all very emotional. Everybody's emotions will be at the surface. So really think about, you know, how you're feeling and what you're doing and what's happening at the, you know, at that specific time. So an ending, a culmination. Mars retrograde is happening conjunct the lunar eclipse. Now, when it's happening in the same sign as the lunar eclipse, you know, depending on what degrees you read and all the rest of it, but you know, these are happening together. Now, Mars is about your assertion, your drive, your passion, how you step forward, you know, what you do in life. It's about how you assert yourself in the world. And when you see Mars go retrograde, which it hates to do because it's about forward progression, and you know, retrograde tends to things, you know, backtrack or bring things back. When Mars goes retrograde, I like to think that it actually becomes more strategic. It allows us to become more precise. It allows us to utilize that energy a bit more. Now, the danger of implosion is there because Mars is that projectile sort of explosive energy. It wants to go outward and forward, you know, but when you have to internalize that energy with emotions already being close to the surface, you know, with the lunar eclipse, this is going to be really intense for everybody. Everything's going to be so close to the surface. We're all going to be feeling really heightened. And for you, this happens in your ninth house. Your ninth house is about meaning. So, you know, and because the Mars conjunction, it's about precision. Mars is also a surgeon. It cuts things off. It, you know, it lasers things off if it needs to. This, for me, I believe this is going to be bringing a really eliminative energy. It's going to allow you to culminate and really make a decision, you know, to be precise about what it is that you want to remove from your life now. And more importantly, because Mars is there, it will give you the energy to make that cut. It will give you the energy to make that decision to eliminate something from your life. So it can actually be a really positive thing if you can utilize the energy consciously. If you can be alert and aware, which is why I'm doing these videos, forewarned is forearmed. As if that wasn't enough, you've then got the South Node, this little black one here, and the South Node is about karmic release. It's about something that you know, that we need to free ourselves of or choose to let go. And because all of this is happening in this house, it kind of, you know, for me, these three things together, it's like that ability to make a conscious decision to move past something and to let it go, and to truly have the energy to put that in place. Now, you know, this eliminative energy, this energy to let something go or choose to let something go, is happening in your ninth house. And your ninth house is about meaning. What do you know, it's about your belief structure. It's about what you search for meaning of, what you believe, or rather, yeah, what meanings you believe are ascribed to certain specific things, places, people, you know, or even events in your life. So when you see this happening, especially with the square to Uranus there, you know, Uranus in the 12th, and then you've got this, you know, tight conjunction between these three sort of aspect, you know, these two planets, one luminary, one planet, and the South Node, I guess, taking place. This could see you really looking over your past, like really, because the 12th house is your past, is your subconscious, the things that we bury deep. This can, you know, and Uranus is there, which is giving it a shake up anyway. This can see you really asking yourself, where did I get the belief system that I have now? Where did I get these understandings and beliefs that subconsciously are driving everything in my life? All of the decisions that I make, all of the moves that I make, all of the choices that I make, they're governed, you know, they often, if we're not conscious enough of our own patterns, they can sort of drive, like they almost hijack or possess us in a way. You know, they can really overtake that. And this will see you looking at your belief structure, looking at the things that you really believe at a core level, and asking yourself, where did I get that belief system from? Where did I ascribe this kind of meaning to this specific thing in my life? What is it in my past, 12th house, that makes me really believe, ninth house, what it is that I believe at this moment in time? Where does that come from? It will see you looking really deep, and some of it will be quite deeply emotional, because, you know, this could see you looking at, you know, ties with your mum. It could see you looking at ties with your, you know, with all kinds of really deep stuff from your childhood, like, you know, from when you were younger, like, okay, I have this belief because that happened. I have, you know, I made that choice because I believe that this might happen if I didn't, or if I did. You know, it can see you really delving into what those actions are and where they come from, and what that's psychological, not psychological, what that, you know, subconscious programming is that I have. And more importantly, because of the retrogradal Mars energy, the South Node energy, the culminating energy of the eclipse, it can see you really making the cut and freeing yourself from it, and saying, okay, you know what, I get why I had those beliefs. I understand now why I've ascribed the meanings to certain things that I have, but they no longer serve me, and they're actually holding me back. This is giving you a chance to really clear out some of that. And if you can do it, and do it consciously, make the conscious decision to make the cut, and to cut out the thing that is festering, that just doesn't need to be there anymore, you can really, really clear the decks and clear the ground to make and create something beautiful in your life going forward. Also, with the ninth house, you get travel. Don't be surprised if people from places that you've been suddenly get in touch. Uranus in the 12th past, you know, and Uranus is the surprising stuff. It's revolution, it's change, it's things that, you know, want to be released, want to be changed, rigid structures in Taurus especially being pulled apart, you know. And the ninth house, travel, you know, far-flung places, foreign cultures. This could see you really saying, okay, well, this doesn't serve me, but actually there are people that I remember in my past that really taught me some great stuff. Let me get in touch with them, if they don't get in touch with you first. Let's see what the tarot has to say on this matter. Justice. So the Justice card, ruled by Libra, talks very much about contracts. This could see you really discovering what some of your soul contracts are, especially with the ninth house, higher wisdom, learning, meaning, belief structures, 12th house, you know, the deep, the subconscious, you know. And with the Justice card, it's not just all things contractual, it's not just documents, paperwork and all the rest of it. It can actually see you looking at your choices. You know, the Justice card is about choice. It's about the decisions or the choices that you are faced with. And you might well be faced with the decision now. You might well be faced with the decision. Do I continue on with the patterns and the belief structure that I've got? Is it sound? If it is, fair enough, keep it. If it's not, however, utilize this Sergionic, is that even a word? Or it is now. Utilize this Sergionic Mars retrogradal lunar eclipse south nodal activity and energy. Use it to really cut out and cut off and let go of what no longer serves you in your life at this moment in time. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. For those of you that are continued supporters, thank you so much. It means the absolute world to me. If you haven't already, click the bell notification so that you get notifications on new videos that I post. You can reach me for personal readings on the links down below. And there's some other bits and bobs there as well. If you haven't seen it, check out your Key to the Eclipses and Retrograde special. Take care, and I'll see you very soon for more videos.